Okay, it's my pleasure to welcome up Dan Haifley. Dan. Dan Haifley's nomination is a reminder that tech also includes the systems that protect places and people. A board member of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuaries Foundation, he's credited as a foundational leader in modern ocean protection and environmental policy work tied to the Monterey Bay region's long-term stewardship.
Thank you. What an amazing group of people this is tonight. I mean, can you just believe it? I mean, it's amazing folks. And speaking of ideas, so the idea that the city of Santa Cruz had in the middle 1980s was we had what was likely to be offshore oil development off the central coast of California. Efforts in Washington to stave this off through annual moratoria on funding had failed. So what can one local community do to fight this federal behemoth along with the oil industry, which is the most powerful force in the world? And the idea is pretty simple. Use local zoning to curb and control onshore activities to support offshore oil. So this was put to a vote in Santa Cruz. 82% of voters said any zoning change to accommodate onshore facilities for offshore drilling must require a vote of the people. And we, the city of Santa Cruz, are going to allocate funds to spread this idea. So Save Our Shores was contracted. I was hired, so a grand budget of $30,000. I drove up and down the coast in my little Ford Pinto, slideshow rattling in the front seat. And before we knew it, we had 26 of these up and down the coast from Humboldt to San Diego. But by that time, of course, the oil industry had noticed, and they filed a lawsuit against 13 of these communities. This was before they had Google, so they didn't know how many had been done. And it slowed our momentum, but it enabled Save Our Shores to pivot to the new proposal for Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, enable us to focus on expounding the boundary north past Santa Cruz up to San Francisco to preclude oil drilling in that high target area, San Mateo County, Davenport, and San Francisco County. And we did this. And we did this with support of Republicans, believe it or not. So Tom Campbell was a Silicon Valley member of Congress, and he worked with Pete Wilson, who's governor, and they worked to push this north. This was their district. They believed in doing this, and it was a great organizing tool, and we succeeded. And I was also fortunate to be able to work with Jack O'Neill on his project known as O'Neill's Sea Odyssey. 150,000 students, mostly low-income students, being able to use Monterey Bay as their science classroom. So it was a great opportunity. But it's interesting, though, in my Save Our Shores days, I met a man named David Brower, who was a towering and controversial figure in Bay Area environmental movement, and he kept saying, every environmental victory is temporary, but every environmental loss is permanent. And it meant something to me then, but I think it really means something to us now. Interestingly, we just closed public comments on the call for offshore oil. Friday night, 270,000 people logged on and made public comments. And that's the biggest public comment period ever for 60 days. However, 2 days later, Monday morning, we got a notice that the same Interior Department, the Trump administration, put out a call to the oil industry to nominate areas for drilling off Central and Southern California. Normally, this happens after the plan is complete, but they are doing it now. It'll be interesting to see who's going to nominate the areas north of Santa Cruz, San Mateo County. Interestingly, because now they have to put their pipelines through a marine sanctuary, they'd have to come on shore with San Mateo County or Santa Cruz County ordinances on onshore facilities, so we'll see how that works. But it's resistance. It's really what it is. But along the way, I also got the best gift of my life. I met a school teacher in Pescadero who's an amazing environmental advocate, cares a lot about education, people with disabilities. Rebecca, thank you for being my partner in this journey. And thank you for listening.